Ben Mankiewicz back in the studio. He's done with all that movie stuff that he has to do frequently, and he gets to talk about politics again.
Not done with it, but a
No,
respite.
for good.
Respite, very exciting, very successful at TCM Film Festival. I talked a little bit about politics on opening night. I was, we did All the President's Men. Carl Bernstein was there, was a guest, so I got to interview Carl, and then but I was looking for intro material to bring in the movie and make it. You know, this is not a political crowd. I don't want to be overly political. Many TCM fans are aware that, you know, to them, I'm a deranged liberal. But nonetheless, or to you guys, I'm a sellout establishment figure. But nonetheless,
yeah. So attack him from either angle.
I think I'm somewhere in between deranged liberal and sellout establishment figure. So anyway, I'm just kidding. So, but I Google movies, favorite movies, presidential candidates, and this wonderful piece comes up. And man, was it good. It went over incredibly well. May I tell you what I said? I think this might even be its own clip. So I'm like, you know, we're running All the President's Men in the middle of a incredibly competitive election year. I thought you might be interested to know the favorite movies of the then, this was last week, of the then 5 remaining candidates for president.
Republican and Democrat?
All 5.
Okay, can I
Cruz,
guess one at a
Kasich,
time?
and Trump, and then Clinton and Bernie Sanders.
Okay, so Cruz, I'm going to use a little bit of information I had before. I don't know for sure, but was it The Princess Bride?
It was The Princess Bride, nicely done. But of course, most people, of course, don't know that. What you may not know is that, or maybe you do recall, is that he was sitting around a roundtable discussion with a bunch of reporters before the New Hampshire primary, where he acted out a scene from the movie.
I don't remember which scene it was.
Well, it was the scene of the...
Is it Mankiewicz?
Fairly, you know, he's not totally dead.
Oh, yeah.
I said, so it's Billy.
Mostly dead.
So it's mostly dead. So it's Billy Crystal. I said it's Ted Cruz around a table, and then he acts out a scene from the movie, and you should YouTube it because it's a really rare opportunity to see Ted Cruz doing a particularly Jewy Billy Crystal.
Oh God. Okay, so I suspected that one. Okay.
All right. So then I moved down. Then next, I actually did Hillary next.
Okay. Hillary Clinton. Who is she? Boys Don't Cry.
I said, when asked to name Hillary Clinton's favorite movie, she named The Wizard of Oz, Casablanca, and Out of Africa, because obviously Hillary Clinton gave 3 different answers to that question.
And all very broad, easy appeal movies. Okay, I got nothing against Wizard of Oz.
But I like the idea that Hillary was like, no, we had 3 different names.
I couldn't narrow it though, so I'm not gonna.
No, it's totally unfair. They might have said what are her favorite movies. I don't know,
Exactly.
but it still was an opportunity to get a laugh, and I took it.
Okay. Okay, John Kasich.
John Kasich was next, and here's this. I'm going to give you a hint. We don't know his favorite movie. We know his least favorite movie.
His least favorite movie?
Movie he hates the most.
Oh, John Kasich.
It was.
I don't know, is there any movie where you're not allowed to stuff your face with large amounts of food? The Hunger Games.
John Kasich's least favorite movie we know is Fargo, celebrating its 20th anniversary, because in the late 90s, when he was a congressman from Ohio, he and his wife went to Blockbuster and rented Fargo, and were so disgusted during the wood chip scene, where they put a guy through a wood chipper, that they stopped playing the movie, and then Kasich called Blockbuster the next day and demanded that they remove Fargo from the shelves.
He's a Republican.
He's a Republican.
He's a Republican.
Of course.
This isn't good for me or you.
Right. Of course, Blockbuster didn't do that, but they later went out of business. So that's kind of a win for Kasich.
They don't stock it anymore.
You're stepping on my lines. So that's kind of a win for Kasich. His second. Again, big crowd. You get a laugh if you set it up right. But I love the idea. You're right. It's totally Kasich. You're like reminded this was the late 90s. So the movie had not only been nominated for an Oscar, but Frances McDormand had won an Oscar for It's a successful movie. Yeah. It's an established movie. So then who's next would be Bernie Sanders.
So Bernie Sanders could be Network maybe, or it could be Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Both good answers. Bernie Sanders did not name a favorite movie, presumably because Hollywood is controlled by Wall Street and the big banks. But Bernie was in a movie called My Ex-Girlfriend's Wedding Reception. Totally true story. In a movie with Dom DeLuise and Debbie Gibson. In a movie, My Ex-Girlfriend's Wedding Reception, where he played, not making this up, a rabbi named Manny Shevitz.
I now get that reference.
Yeah.
Thanks to living in LA for years.
Manny Shevin. That's right. Yeah. So, and then finally, Donald Trump.
Oh, for the love of God. Debbie Does Dallas.
Donald Trump, much to my eternal disappointment, favorite movie, Citizen Kane.
No, I bet he hasn't even watched it. He also likes the Bible, supposedly.
Well, here's the thing. I'm sure he's watched Citizen Kane, but here's what he doesn't get: Citizen Kane. Like,
I'm going to be honest.
This is
I've never seen Citizen Kane.
Well, it's kind of about him.
Oh, okay.
It's about people like him. And by the way, you should Network. The fact that you haven't seen Network and Citizen Kane.
I do have to see Network. I wrote it on my hand.
But I mean, watch Citizen Kane. It's a movie about publishing. You can just extrapolate it to being about TV. I mean, it's a great little, and it's so innovative. So
I'm going to try to watch Network.
That's a great. You're just not going to watch the greatest movie ever.
I'm also going to wait. Which one's the greatest? Citizen Kane.
So say
they say
many.
that. I don't know. Movies. Did you see? Who's the guy with the weird movie Inside His Brain? The really weird guy. He played the Russian
Jim Carrey?
he played the Russian in Rounders.
Oh, John Malkovich.
Yeah, so he made this movie about the world 100 years in the future. So they're screening it at Sundance in a safe. No one can watch it. It won't be released for 100 years. That's when I'm like, nah, you movie people. I don't know. Anyway, that was actually fun. And you brought your expertise in both movies and politics to that, so I enjoy that.